Hey, what's up guys? It's Matt here, or MJ Feldy, and today I will be unboxing and reviewing this Mandalorian Starfighter set. And I'm really excited to build this set because I actually own the previous variant of this set that came out back in like 2012 or 13, somewhere around there. But anyway, this set is definitely a huge improvement from that set, so I can't wait to get this built. And also take a look at the incredible minifigures that we get with this set. We get Gar Saxton, we get Bo-Katan, and we also get a Mandalorian loyalist. So I'm pretty sure that, like given the box art and everything, that this set is actually from the Clone Wars Season 7. But actually in one scene of The Mandalorian Season 2, you do see Bo-Katan's Mandalorian Starfighter landed outside of that cantina. So technically you could put it with all of your other Lego sets from The Mandalorian, but the way that they intended to market this set was from the Clone Wars Season 7, which is great because otherwise we wouldn't have gotten Gar Saxton and that other Mandalorian loyalist. Overall, I really love this new color scheme that they went with for the set, and I like how they spruced it up with some newer pieces that weren't available back when they came out with the previous version of this set. So that's really nice to see, with some more angles and other details on the front of the set. And for those of you who care about all of the set numbers and age recommendations, this is set number 75316 and recommended for ages 9 and up. And the name of this set is obviously Mandalorian Starfighter. Contains 544 pieces as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open this set up and get it built for you guys. Alright, so here is the completed Mandalorian Starfighter, and I really enjoyed the build. It was pretty similar to the 2012 version with just a few more details, and actually this ship is a lot more condensed, I guess is the best way to put it. But I'll be comparing both this model and the 2012 model later in this review. But to start out, I thought I would take a quick look at these amazing minifigures here. So first up, we have Bo-Katan, and I absolutely love the printing on the helmet there. It just looks super accurate, and I mean, I guess all of the printing on every single minifigure that comes in this set is just incredible. They all get leg printing, torso printing, and even back printing, even though it's covered by the jetpack on every single minifigure, but you still do get back printing. And then all of them, except for the Mandalorian Loyalist, get face prints underneath, and Bo-Katan has two different facial expressions there, and she even comes with a separate hair piece, which I think it does the job. I don't know what other hairpiece Lego would have used for this Bo-Katan figure unless they just made a completely different mold altogether, but I think it does the job. And I'm not really going to be displaying my Bo-Katan figure with the hairpiece on. I'll just be displaying it with the helmet because I think it looks a lot better. But Bo-Katan comes with two of these, like, I think they're newer style pistols. They're either new or I just haven't seen them in a whole lot of Lego sets. But yeah, I'm really happy that Lego is finally using these kinds of gun molds for these Star Wars characters. It looks a lot more accurate, especially for the double blasters there. And then next up is this Mandalorian Loyalist. I really like the markings on the helmet there. And then this character does not have an actual like face. It's just a black head there, but I guess, you know, that's fine since this isn't like an actual named character or anything like that. But I do really like the printing on this character. Like, if Lego made like a battle pack with just like this type of Mandalorian, that would be really awesome. Like, these guys just like look super sweet with, like, you know, the cool leg printing and everything like that. But also comes with a gunmetal gray jetpack there and two pistols just like Bo-Katan. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this Mandalorian Loyalist, but I'm very happy that they included him in the set. And then next up is Gar Saxton, which just looks incredible. This is a completely different helmet mold with the horns there, with the horns there in the back. I think that just looks super awesome. And then the face print there with the yellow visor, and also just all of the amazing printing there on the torso and the legs. Just this figure just looks incredible. I can't even believe that Lego went ahead and made this character in Lego form. I never thought it would happen, but here we are, and I'm so happy that they finally made this character in Lego form. And then he does also get the one blaster there, the same as the other blasters that you get in the set. But yeah, I'm really happy with this figure and the way that it turned out. And but that is it for the minifigures, and now let's take a closer look at the Mandalorian Starfighter. All right, so I'm actually gonna just bring over the 2012 model here just for a bit of a comparison. But like I said before, I don't know if it was just the way I was looking at it, but this newer one from 2021 definitely looks a lot more like condensed or just like shorter. I don't know if that's like more accurate, but I mean, they probably made like a bunch of different versions of Mandalorian Starfighters, so they're not all exactly the same. But this is Pre-Vizsla's, and then this is Bo-Katan's. So take that with a grain of salt. But I really like the proportions a lot better on this one from 2021 than I do this one. But I don't know. I just really like the size of this one. It also just feels a lot more solid when you're like just handling it and flying it around and stuff like that. It feels a lot more solid than this one. This one, the wings kind of like flop around a little bit more than they do on the 2021 version. So I think I'll just start off with the cockpit area of both of these models. So this one, there are stickers on the side and stickers on top there of the windscreen. And then there is a spot to fit two of your minifigures. So you can fit both your Mandalorian Loyalist and Bo-Katan in there. But they both do fit in there pretty nicely, and they're not even like studded in. It's just like tiles, and then there's like a couple of 1x2 tiles that separate where each of the characters' legs are supposed to go, but they do fit very nicely in there. One small like issue is that there's a little gap right here where you can just like see Bo-Katan's arm, but it's not like too terrible of a deal, and I guess it makes it easier for you to like lift up the cockpit, but that's just one small little issue that I had with it. But all of like this shaping with like these modified slopes right here look very nice around the cockpit area especially. And then for the 2012 version, it actually has the same exact cockpit piece, and then there's stickers on the side. I do think that the stickers on the 2021 version definitely look a lot more detailed than this one. These are just kind of, you know, white stickers. But anyway, you have spots for 2 characters in here as well, and they use like these different modified like tile pieces where this little piece in the middle fits in between the legs. But you can still fit 2 minifigures in this one and 2 minifigures in this one. I kind of like this though, because you know, you can just like pick up your minifigures right out of there and they kind of just fit in, and you don't really have to like finagle them out of these little modified tiles here. But both of them do fit 2 minifigures, which is really nice. And one thing that's kind of an issue on the 2021 version is that, you know, you have all of these blasters right here, but you don't have anywhere to store them, like in the back of the Starfighter, which is kind of an issue. Like, you know, you have all of this like empty space back here, which, I mean, it looks nice, but like you can't open it up or like anything. There's no real function to anything besides like the cockpit opening up, which I don't know if like they weren't able to make like a little storage space back here with the pieces that they were using, or I don't really know what the deal was, but just some sort of like storage place for these blasters would have been nice. I mean, there is this like little spot in the bottom that kind of opens up, but I don't think it's really supposed to open up, but it's just like on a ball joint right here, and you can't really store anything in that. But yeah, that's really the only thing that opens up on this ship besides the cockpit. But on the 2012 version, there is this spot up here that flips up, and you can store this little storage container in here, and it can actually drop out of the bottom of the ship. So you kind of have to like get under it like this, but the storage container can drop out, and then you can store whatever sorts of weapons you want in here. In here I just have Pre-Vizsla's hair, but you can store whatever you want in there, and then you can just place it back inside of the Starfighter. So that's really nice. There is that storage option there for any of your like extra guns or lightsabers or anything like that, which this model does not have, unfortunately. But one area that the 2021 version surpasses the 2012 version is this back little rotating turret. Just looks a lot nicer and is actually a lot more accurate, because if you look at the Starfighters from the Clone Wars, there is just one little missile right at the top. And then over here, I mean, it looks all right, but I definitely prefer this one. It just looks a lot sleeker. And these 2 little cone pieces on the ends do fall off a ton. Like I cannot count the number of times that these have just like fallen off, and then I've had to just put them back on because they don't stay on like at all. So it's kind of an issue there with this model compared to this one. I'm really happy that they changed that on the 2021 version. But a lot of the details like around this area, like the sloping back here with the sticker, they do look pretty similar on both models. And even like these back engines right here look pretty similar. They just used a couple different techniques on the 2012 version, and I think they cleaned it up a lot better on the 2021 version here in the back. And then on the 2021 version, there are also these spring-loaded shooters on either side of the wing that you can shoot out like that. I'm not a huge fan of these, but then again, it is a children's toy, so they have to incorporate some play features there. So I think they hit it pretty well, and you're not really gonna end up bumping them that often. So I think they incorporated those pretty nicely. And then the 2012 version obviously does not have those because, you know, they weren't introduced in Lego sets in 2012. And then one thing, actually a couple things that are different from the 2021 version and the 2012 version, especially in landed mode, are that First of all, the 2021 version has no front landing gear. They do have a couple of these like inverted slope bricks on the underside, but it doesn't really do anything. I wish they I guess you could mod it and move these two bricks more towards the front and then, lift it up a little bit. I don't know why they didn't do that, but I don't really like the way that it looks when it's landed. I wish it was just propped up a little bit like that because it looks a lot more accurate. On the other hand, the 2012 version does have front landing gear, but I feel like it's lifted up like way too much than it needs to be accurate. But the 2021 version, as you can see, like the point of rotation is a lot lower. Like the wings are, I guess, shifted upwards more than they are on this one. But the 2012 version, like the wings are still just a little bit taller than the 2021 version there. But yeah, I don't really know like which one is better. Like I guess the 2012 version is nice because it has the front landing gear, but then like it just sits up way too tall. And then this one doesn't have any front landing gear, but I guess you could mod it pretty easily. But it does sit up the right amount, I think. Man, I don't really know. Let me know in the comments down below which one you prefer. Like, do you like the way that the 2021 version looks like landed or the 2012 version? Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, man, I don't really know. Like, I'm kind of torn between these two because like they both have their issues, I guess, the way that they look landed. I will say that like the underside of the wings on the 2012 version definitely looks a lot better than it does on here, because like if you look at the front, like there's so much detail like on the front of it, but then when you get to the back, like none of that is even like, they didn't even try to replicate it on the underside. But with pre-Vizsla's Starfighter, like they pretty much replicated each bit of detail, like especially like with the blue and white markings and stuff like that. They tried to replicate it almost exactly on the underside, which I think looks really nice, even though you are seeing the underside of studs. They definitely replicated that a lot better than they did on the 2012 version. And then I'm not 100% sure which is more accurate, but there are these just giant guns on the front of pre-Vizsla Starfighter, and then on the front of this one, the guns are sort of like tucked back right here between this little area of detail. So I don't know if like pre-Vizsla's in particular like had these big beefy guns on the front and then all the other Starfighters didn't, or like if they had different models of Starfighter. Not really 100% sure, but I definitely like the overall sleekness of the 2021 version over here with the guns. This one just looks a little bit too beefy and bulky in my opinion, especially towards the front of the ship. All right, and I just wanted to show you guys that the mechanisms for the wings are exactly the same on each version of the Starfighter. They just use these ratchet pieces right here to make the wings go up and down, and it holds them very nicely. Like you don't have to worry about them like flopping back down or anything like that. Something that's nice about the 2021 version is that at the bottom there are these little pins that stop the wings from going down any further, which is really nice. And then on the 2012 version, the wings fold up the exact same way. And then it does have the landing gear here on the bottom. And then they fold down just like that, except for on this one, the wings can actually fold down to wherever you want. Like there's nothing stopping it like on the 2021 version, which I don't know. I mean, this would be kind of an interesting look for the Mandalorian Starfighter, just like this. But yeah, that's just something to note there. And then for just the overall design aspect of this comparison, I just really like how on the 2021 version, each wing comes to an exact point right there with the usage of these modified slope pieces. But then in this one, it kind of just ends in two studs, just like abruptly. Like there's not even like any sloping that leads it to a point, which yeah, I definitely have to give it to the 2021 version for overall design aspect. I just really like all of the markings and just all of like the newer slope elements that Lego has utilized in the 2021 version compared to the 2012. But then again, in 2012, they didn't have a lot of those pieces invented yet. but I still think that, you know, they did a decent job for what it is. And Pre-Vizsla Starfighter is a pretty epic set, especially with the amazing minifigures that you get with that set as well. All right, guys, that is gonna conclude my comparison and review for both the 2021 and 2022 Mandalorian Starfighters. Please let me know down in the comments below which one you guys think is the best. I would definitely have to give it to the 2021 version just for the overall design aspect of the model, and also just like the proportions that they corrected in the 2021 version compared to the 2012. But both of these sets do come with 3 amazing minifigures, so that's something to consider as well. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.